Lake Superior is one of the world's most dangerous lakes. Storms can arise suddenly and be devastating. At last count, 445 ships have sank in Lake Superior. Director and curator of the Thunder Bay Museum, Tori Tronrund, is taking a tour of what lies beneath.
This exhibit is called What Lies Beneath, and it's about a history of shipwrecks on Lake Superior, particularly on the Canadian side of Lake Superior. We did some research when we were planning this exhibit, and we found that there's a lot of information and a lot of things written about the shipwrecks of Lake Superior, but they're almost all about the American shipwrecks.
Most of us have heard of the Edmund Fitzgerald, an American Great Lakes freighter, the largest of its kind, that sank in Lake Superior during a storm, November the 10th, 1975, where it lost its entire crew. But there are many other equally interesting shipwrecks.
The Algoma, for example, that sunk in 1885 on the very day that the CPR drove its last spike, and it was, of course, a CPR ship, so it was tragedy and triumph on the very same day. There were the lost French minesweepers that were built here in Thunder Bay that two of them crossing Lake Superior in a storm in November 1918 went down. We think they went down, but they've never been found. They never appeared at Sault Ste. Marie, and they've never been found since, so there's a great mystery around that. There are ship collisions, ships that piled up on the rocks, dramatic stories of rescues and people on board that went down with the ship and then managed to climb back up. There's some mystery ships, ones that went down, and people don't even know to this day what ship it was. They just know that a ship went down. There are those that vanished. There's one, for example, and the name escapes me right now, but it was going ahead of another ship in the fog, and it just vanished in the fog and never reappeared. And it wasn't during a storm, it's just like it was plucked out of Lake Superior. Lake Superior is extremely cold. When you get down below a very short distance from the surface, it's extremely cold, and it stays that way pretty much all year long. So when a ship goes down, it's well preserved because of the temperature, but also because of the nature of the water itself. You can find ships that are over 100 years old down there that are almost like new.
Many of the objects from these different shipwrecks have been recovered and are now on display in What Lies Beneath.
The chair that came off the Algoma, and it was salvaged in 1885-86 by the father of the man who donated it to the museum. And it was in marvelous condition because it was taken off fairly shortly after the ship went down. We have some radio equipment that was used to communicate with ships. The life preservers, floats, dishes, and metal objects, and mostly smaller stuff, but all very fascinating.
This display will run until November the 10th. After that, it will hit the road as a traveling exhibit. If you would like to see it in your area, give the Thunder Bay Museum a call. Reporting for Go Thunder Bay, I'm Sarah MacArthur.